Meditation. Meditation. Meditation is a skill that I want to really advance in. Um, I've been trying to get myself up to 1 hour, and it hasn't really been working. I got to a half an hour, and then I'm back down to 10 minutes. But here's the thing: is that meditation is really is it's different to any anything you do, because it's not a doing. And this is the thing: is that I think sometimes we see meditation as like this self improvement thing. But if you have the attitude of using meditation to improve yourself, it doesn't really work. You don't really get the benefits from it. It's paradoxical. It's like, if you want to improve yourself with meditation, you have to not want to improve yourself with meditation. This is the thing, it's very fucking paradoxical. But basically, meditation is just the minute you slap on a label, meditation or mindfulness, it becomes something that you have to do. But really, a better thing to call it would be to just to sit down and appreciate that you're alive. That's all it is, really. Just to appreciate that you're alive. That's not a thought game. That's not intellectual. That's not conceptual. You don't sit down and go, "Oh, I'm gonna try and appreciate my life. Oh, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for this in my life." No, that's not what this is about. It's appreciating being alive, not appreciating what happened in your past or what could potentially happen in your future, but just this moment. And you can't even call it a moment, because that even suggests that it's, in time. There's the past, and then there's the moment, present moment, and then there's the future. But take away the past and the future, there is no present moment. It's something that can't be spoken of. But it's just the fact that you're alive. And this is the thing, this is the hard thing with meditation. If we start treating it like a duty or a chore that we have to do, forget about it. It's pointless, doesn't work. You need to go into meditation with the intention of just being, of just basking in the enjoyment of being alive, of existing. So you hear a lot, like with meditation teachings and shit, you hear a lot of, it's not about stopping your thoughts. Meditation is not about stopping your thoughts. And that's true, it's not. You're not going to sit down and your task is to stop thoughts. But I do think it is about going beyond thought. The purpose of meditation is to go beyond thought, go beyond the mind. Yes, thoughts are welcomed. Like, if thoughts come, don't go, "Fuck, there's a thought," because that's just another thought. And then, you keep piling up thoughts. But the whole point is to go beyond thought, because thoughts are never about the moment, never about, maybe not never, but like the very vast majority of thoughts are not about the moment, not about the appreciation of being alive, right? This is beyond intellect, beyond emotion. It's just a felt knowing. It's just a knowing. And so, if you're truly like present and you're just sitting down and appreciating that, oh, here I am, I'm alive, I'm experiencing. There are no really thoughts about that. It's not like, you know? Like, the thing is, if your intention is like pure, if your intention is, I'm gonna sit down, close my eyes, and just be. And if you hold that intention strongly, no thoughts are going to come in, you see? Because you want to just sit down and bask in that enjoyment of being alive. And when you have that intention, that deep sort of desire to just be, then thinking about what happened in the past or thinking about the future, planning what you've got to do, or things you should have said in the past, things that you've got to say in the future, planning and imagining and remembering shit, all that's pointless. That's not coming into your intention, you see. So when a thought comes of like, oh, I've got to plan this thing, then it's not like you're going like, oh fuck, a thought's coming, or it's not like it's like, thoughts just come and go. And so, but yeah, what I'm saying is that you're not going to get lost in that thought. If you've got like, if a thought comes in like, oh shit, I've got to plan this thing for tomorrow, if your intention is right, you just go, ah, that's a thought that I'm noticing. But back to just recognizing what's here and now, knowing what's here and now, just being with what's here and now. The sensations, the sensory experience, right? The colors and shapes that you see, the different sounds that you hear, the different bodily sensations and temperature and all that, the movement of your breath. Like, there is so much to be aware of that you don't need to think about to be aware of. And that's really what meditation's about, is that it's it's enjoying the movement of nature, and you don't need to think about that. It's enjoying the texture and movement of your senses, of nature. And so if your intention is like that, if your intention is to just enjoy being, when a thought comes in like, oh, I've got to plan this tomorrow, it's like you just acknowledge it. It's not like it's like, oh, in meditation, I've got to do this. This is by the rule books. In meditation, you just acknowledge a thought and then you let it go. It's like, if you actually want to think about that, if a thought comes in like, oh shit, I've got to plan this, and you really want to go down that route and think about all the steps that you have to take, and you start thinking about all this shit, it's like, that's fair enough. Like, if you want to think about that. And this is the thing, is that meditation, you cannot treat it like a chore or something. Like, and I don't know, like, I've been meditating every day for a bit over a year now. So maybe, you do have to like play by the rule books at first, and you do have to be like, oh, I acknowledge that thought, but no, I'm going to be present. But I think as time progresses and you keep meditating, it's really about doing it for the enjoyment of it. Like, at first it may seem like fucking task that you have to do, and you have to be skilled at it. You've got to get it right. You know, like everything, you practice more and more. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think over time, you just got to realize that it's if your intent is strong enough, if your intention is strong enough, nothing can pull you out of that meditative state. You know what I mean? Like if you really desire and just want to just sit and be and experience and appreciate the moment with all its fucking richness in it and the amazement and mysteriousness of being alive. The thought about what you got to do tomorrow is not of any interest to you when you're meditating. Do you know what I mean? It's very tricky though, because I'm going to plug my phone in because not got much charge. But okay, that should be good. So the tricky thing is that let me just fucking set this up, which I can't. I'll put it over here. So the tricky thing is that we don't know who we are. We think we do. We think we know who we are. But anything that you think that you are, that's not you. That's a thought. You could say, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm a twat, I'm brilliant. None of that is who you are. Like, really, if you're earnest enough and you want to find out who you are, you're nothing. You don't know who you are. You can't know who you are. You're not this body. The body does this, whatever it does on its own. And likewise, the mind is the same. If you don't manipulate your experience, if you don't try to do anything, you just sit and you let things be, you know, the way you just let your heart beat, or the way that you just let your food digest, if you do that the same way with your thoughts, you don't try and direct it in any certain way, you don't try and manipulate your thoughts, you can see that, you know, like, you're just alive. That's what you are. Your aliveness. It's this emptiness that's full of everything. So this is the tricky thing, is that, you know, thoughts are really hard to be aware of. It's very hard not to manipulate our experience, because we do it 24/7. It's a habit. But what happens when you let everything go? When you just let go, you give it all up. You don't fucking You don't control anything or manipulate anything. What happens when you just let it all go? You know, you're still there, but shit's still happening. Things are still running. Your mind is still going. And this is really like beyond philosophy or intellect or understanding. This is a really experiential thing that you have to see for yourself. It's very interesting because I did a meditation before I started this video, and during it, it's like when I was just enjoying the moment, enjoying the sensory experience, and there were no thoughts. It's like like there was no identification or like it's just experience. Like there's no like subject and object. There's no me and that. It all kind of like merges. There's no distinction between something and something else. And like I I don't know who I am, but at the same time I do because I'm everything. It's like I'm nothing and everything at the same time. It's like I'm nobody, but the very fact that something is happening, the very fact that there are sounds and sensations, that there's experience. I'm all of that. I'm all of the experience. There's no experiencer. That's what I'm saying. There's no experiencer. It's just experience. And so I am the sounds of the rain and the temperature of this body and the movement of breath. I am that. But at the same time, it's not like me, you know? It's not me. So what I'm saying is that it's interesting. It's interesting to see that, to be so like in the moment, and there's no thoughts going on, and then for thoughts to come in, and you quickly identify with them. The thought can come in like, oh, my posture's not right. I've got to change my posture. And then already with that thought, that assumes that you have a body, that assumes that you are the body, that assumes that you're not doing something right. And you're back believing that you are this person. It's very hard to know yourself independently from thought. It's very hard to know yourself without relating to thought, without thinking yourself into existence. Anyway, that's me. Goodbye.